Well, hello. Wow. Hold on. Hello, friends. So this is the first time your girl's been back on camera since Palm Springs, and I'm just trying to quiet everything because y'all know your girl always forgets. So grab your coffee, grab your tea, because we have a brand new Alter Ego palette to jump into. I'm so excited to come home to this. This is launching October 3rd at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So I have learned that's 3 hours behind me. So that's 11, 12, 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. However, we have noticed sometimes some brands will launch things early. So we have a lot to talk about. We're going to play with the palette. So let's go ahead and jump on in. Suck her down. First and foremost, I'm Rusty. Hi, my name's actually Rhonda, not Rusty. And over here, the first word of the channel is Hot Mess. Okay, so you get what you get and you don't throw a fit. And if you do throw a fit, this is just not going to be the channel for you. So Sassy Pants is in fact engaged. This is called the Misthaven palette, and I am like 99% sure this is a Huda Beauty inspired palette. I think it is absolutely beautiful. Now listen. This is not a surprise video, okay? So if you have never, or if you saw my thumbnail, you know what I'm talking about here. We're not going to be rude in the comments. I'm going to do a little recap of why I love the Alter Ego, not only their formula, but why I enjoy their products, because not everybody can afford a $40, $50, $60, $70, $100+ palette. And so Alter Ego gives you that opportunity to be able to purchase inspired by palettes at a fraction of the cost. Now keep in mind, I am telling you the Alter Ego formula is amazing. Absolutely. Is it the quality of Huda? Is it the quality of Natasha? No, it's not. Okay, but for the price, it is exceptional. So if you've come here to gripe and complain over the fact that this isn't inspired by palette, please just see your way out. We don't need to hear about it. This, like I said, is launching on October 3rd. And code HOTMESS will save you 10% on this palette, which is going to be $24 minus the 10%, so minus $2.40. I am gonna not show you guys what I'm about to use, but stay tuned. You do not want to miss what I'm about to do. So edit this, Rhonda. Okay, editing Rhonda is now back in. Trust and promise you do not want to miss the secret little product that I have just used somewhere on my face. Maybe multiple places on my face. It's a big doggone deal, mother truckers. I tell you what. Let's go ahead and zoom on in. Alright, so starting off with just the look of this palette. Nice cardboard type of packaging. I do like the fact that on the back we do have the names. Not for sure if my camera picks it up, but the names also correlate with what is inside of this palette. Here's an up close of the palette as well. I will just go ahead and pop up a side by side so y'all can see the palette that it is inspired by. There is a really nice mirror. It's not one of the funhouse types of mirrors whatsoever. So let's go ahead and jump right in. I'm gonna get my little wash rag here so I can get messy and not put it on my leggings. I love the color story. I mean, you guys know how much I love a cool tone. I just, with a hint of a tint of warmth. Love. I honestly need to kind of teach myself, learn myself these darker colors. I feel like it's more of probably a base to lay down the deeper shades, but I'm not in that journey of life yet, so I'm not going to mess with it. So let's go ahead and jump into the shade Petal, which is kind of on the cooler side of a neutral shade. Now if you are new here, I do what I call tap tap dab dive, and it is simply because I do have mature lids, and if I try to go right into a windshield wiper motion, all chaos breaks loose and it skips, and it's just a whole doggone situation that I am just not in the mood for today. So I really like this shade as a transition shade, just kind of easing myself in. I kind of want to add a little bit of this fawn shade, just kind of brighten it up a little bit. I never know what kind of look I'm going for, but this isn't the shade I want to settle with. I want a little bit of warmth there, so I feel like maybe even mixing petal and fawn together would be pretty. But yeah, I really like adding a little bit more warmth. I know it's going to be a cooler tone palette, but very similar to my palette with Ofra Cosmetics, the Unconditional palette. I always mix together. My Fam Bam is kind of the warmer shade in here, and it's great if things are getting a little too cool tone. You can jump into Fam Bam, and I feel like warm things up a little bit. And that's what I feel like this fawn shade is doing. Now you can see the quality of the shadows are wonderful. Okay, I really like just these two shades together for like a beautiful daytime kind of simple look. However, I do want to add a little bit of the shade Velvet, so we're going just right above to the tippy top here, and I'm going to put that along my brow bone and my inner corner. Alright, let's get into the nitty gritty. I love this echo here in the corner, but I feel like it's just too dark to jump right into that. So I'm probably going to just mix these two shades together for the outer V starting off, and we can deepen as we go. And there's honestly, as I'm like dipping in, you don't see a lot of kick up or anything like that, which to me still doesn't make much of a difference. I don't care if it really does. I just know that some people do eye ask, and I'm letting y'all know it's really not that much, if at all. So I really like this color. It's nice and soft. We're going to go a little underneath. Me personally, I feel like this is such a perfect fall vibey palette. No, honey, because there's a cough suppressant in there. You couldn't take both.
Sarah, love you.
Love you too. You can take that, honey. Okay, so once I've kind of packed everything on, that's when I will be a little bit more comfortable to go in with a fluffier brush. And I'm also going to, I think, go into this plum shade, which is this lightest shade out of the three. And I'm going to kind of help myself soften that up and blend with a fluffier brush, which these are the blinged brushes. Now you'll see I don't really still go into like a windshield wiper motion. I still kind of tap, tap, dab, dab. I kind of slowly move things around. Now I'm going to go ahead back into this plum shade, and I want to lay that down kind of as a base to put some of these sparkles on. So I'm just going to put it right in the inner to middle, and this cluster shade looks like it's going to be gorgeous, so I have to just dip into right into this. That is so pretty. Putting that in the inner, just laying it down with my finger. Oh my gosh, that's so pretty. Now you could always use a brush and spritz it with setting spray if you want. Alright, swatching, I'm going to go in with Moon. I was just playing around to see which one I like better, Moon or Secrets. I like Moon. I'm going to put that right next to Cluster, right in the center, and that's what it looks like. Alright, this one doesn't lay down too well with my fingers, so let's go ahead and try a brush. I'm going to go in with the Alter Ego 9 brush and lay that down. That's really pretty. It's really light, so you can definitely build it up if you want. But it's not like a powerhouse type of shade, in my opinion. I mean, you can see that it's there, but it's not like crazy over the top, which personally I kind of feel like is a good thing, especially if you do have mature lids and you want that sparkle and shimmer on the lids. Sometimes if it's a little too much, it starts to look creepy and crunchy, and we're not going for that kind of look. So I think this is really pretty, really soft. Low-key a little surprised that it's not a little bit more blingy, but overall I still think it's pretty. Let me go ahead and put my lashes, well, mascara on, liner. Alright, so I have finished the entire look, and if you like my lips, me too, stay tuned for that. I am so excited to be able to show you guys something literally so soon. So definitely stay tuned for that for sure. All I can say is comfortable, beautiful, not CoverGirl. Okay, anyways, let's talk about the Misthaven palette by Alter Ego. I think for $21 and change, it's a yes for me. As I told you guys, it is inspired by the Huda Beauty. I think it's the Grunge palette, which I think was absolutely beautiful, but it was $69. And you know, I've kind of taken a step back from buying every single launch from every single brand, and my bank account's actually really thanking me for that. So if you wanted that palette, but $69 was kind of a hefty price tag, which by the way, I think it actually had sold out at Sephora when the VIB Rouge was this past spring, because I swear I had it in my cart. With the holidays coming up, if you have a makeup lover, I'm telling you, Alter Ego palettes are the way to go. They're a great way to grow your collection without breaking the bank. So I'm going to have it linked and listed down below. Thank you to Alter Ego for sending this over my way to play around with. I mean, you guys know I have been talking about Alter Ego for years. Like 4 years. I have all of their palettes. I have gifted their palettes for a good reason. They're great. So anyways, let me know your thoughts down below. Will you be picking this up? Like I told you guys, October 3rd, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time and 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Code Hotmess is going to save you that $2.40, making it $21 and change. For me, it's a no-brainer. I like this price tag personally because for me, when it comes to growing my collection or having a color story that I prefer, I would much rather spend $21 and change versus $69. Now, don't get me wrong, Huda Beauty's formula is wonderful. It truly is. I've got a ton of Huda Beauty products. But at the end of the day, we can't all afford every single launch. You know what I mean? And so Alter Ego does give us that opportunity. So anyways, make sure to check me out on my other channels, Hotmess Momma Vlogs for Curvy Girl Fashion Hauls. I'm actually going to film what I brought on my Palm Springs trip for creators and friends. All those outfits, I'm going to film that. And don't forget, check me out, Hotmess in the House. Haven't really been too active over there, but don't worry, I'll eventually get content over there too. I have been super active on TikTok and Instagram at Hotmess Momma 4, so make sure to check me out over there and stay tuned for something very, very big and exciting coming up insanely soon. I cannot wait. Anyways, friends, until next time, as always, kisses from Kentucky. Mwah. Bye.
This time